Hello, my loves. So I wanted to just stop by and say good morning and to check in with you all to see how you are all doing. I know a lot of us are feeling like we may be in a place of confusion, uncertainty, maybe finding ourselves in a period of isolation again where we are being challenged with some memories or thoughts or experiences that we feel we have overcome and they're showing themselves again. But I want you to take a look at that, because I guarantee you, if you look at what is coming up for you right now, you actually can see it in a different way because of all the work that you have been doing up to this point. So your perspective and the clarity that you may have gained from all of what was into what is right now, there is definitely a different way of looking at it. But it does not take away the emotional part of what is coming up for us. And again, and I've said this before, we're going through a major transition. We are really in a place of releasing an old version of ourselves, or many old versions of ourselves that no longer serves us. And that's why we're finding ourselves in this place right now of confusion and uncertainty and sadness and loneliness, because we're in a place, most of us are in this place right now of unfamiliarity. We've never been here before, right? And if we've gone our entire life creating an identity to just get through life, or have always been in survival mode, or struggle mode, scarcity mode, whatever identity we created for ourselves to get through life, we may have a lot of unhealed trauma, or have had a lot of unhealed trauma that we had to overcome during this time of transition. And I want you guys to be proud of yourself, because you really have come a long way. And even though you may be finding yourself in this place right now of another fork in the road, of uncertainty, it's perfectly okay. It's okay. And even if you're finding yourself being presented and challenged with old things from your past, or just sudden sadness and loneliness, and not understanding completely why, because we feel we've done so much work. Why are we doing this? Why are we going through this again? This should be a smooth ride. But transition is never smooth, is it? We have to be presented and challenged with all of these things, because they're all part of an old version of who we were. Old versions of who we were, right? Of versions of others that we have carried in our DNA or been programmed with, right? So transition is never easy. So there is going to be moments when you feel it's smooth as hell and it's like, oh wow, this feels really good. Although I don't feel like it's ever that smoothly. But if you've had that chance and that opportunity for it to be smooth, good for you. That's amazing. And the only way I can say smooth, when I use the word smooth, is I think that it comes easier when we really have taken a deeper look at who we thought we were, how we managed to get through life up to this point, and everything that we have overcome during that period. And many of us have overcome so much. So again, give yourself a pat on the back. And even though you may be finding yourself in this place of uncertainty again, know it's all part of this transition, because we still have to release parts of ourselves that lie dormant deep within ourselves, right? It's like remnants. There's layers to every part of an experience we've gone through. There's always more than one emotion connected. So it's just a place, it's just a time of us just understanding and not being so hard on ourselves if we find ourselves being pulled back to parts of that old version of ourselves. What I find is many people have done such amazing work up to this point and are all of a sudden feeling bouts of sadness and loneliness again. It's normal. It's okay. I don't want you to beat yourself up. It's okay to feel those emotions that are coming up. It may feel like you're needing to isolate again or being forced to isolate again. And a lot of times we have to isolate, and I've talked about this in other videos, because it's when we are in that time of isolation that all of that information comes up to the surface and becomes clear to us. This is where we start to develop the clarity and understanding of why are we feeling the way that we feel, especially if we have overcome so much. We may have decided to take a leap of faith and start a brand new life in a whole nother state, a whole nother country, right? Something we've never done. We may have taken a leap of faith of saying, finally, I am done with this job, this career that I'm in that really is no longer serving me. I don't feel good here anymore. And we decide to maybe embrace things that we are more passionate about doing. And that's scary in itself, because it's like we're stepping away from a place or a job where we had a steady paycheck, right? We knew how much money was coming in, you know? But we just felt deep down in our soul that it just doesn't feel good anymore. It doesn't serve me anymore. And again, that is to show you how far you've come. You've really grown to even get to that place of understanding and realizing that this doesn't serve me or feed my soul in any way as far as my evolution goes. So I'm ready. I'm ready to take a leap of faith and start a brand new business, doing something that I love to do. Even if you start to a side business while you're working, right? But you already know deep down in your heart and your soul that this job no longer serves me. I'm telling you, there's so many people leaving jobs, security, that they've known for so long, because they're just at a place where they're just done with, not being happy or fulfilled with it. And they're starting to own and understand that it's time for change, right? So like I said, even if you've done all of this and you're at this place right now of like, wow, I just moved to a whole nother state, a whole nother country. I just left a job that I felt so secure in. I just left a relationship that I always felt was going to be the person in my life forever, right? But found that it wasn't fulfilling to us. Again, this is because we're at a whole brand new level of understanding, higher consciousness, vibration. All of these things are shifting, right? Into a higher frequency, a higher consciousness. A higher consciousness meaning a higher, or I should say higher consciousness is really what it represents, is a more of a knowing, an understanding, knowing what doesn't serve us anymore, what doesn't feel good to us, understanding why we maybe had to do the things that we did, or why we created the identity that we created to get through life, right? And then we come to this place where transition is happening now. Everything is shifting, and it's like, okay, now I have to look at all of this and decide, what do I want to do? What is going to fulfill me? Fulfill me. Not what I think I'm supposed to be doing, or what society tells me I'm supposed to be doing, or what my family tells me what I'm supposed to be doing, or what is expected of me through culture, or any of this, right? All of the stuff that we've always been programmed with, all of the limitations that have been put on us, or we have put on ourselves because we didn't know any better. Again, when we created that old version of ourselves, it was out of experiences, protection, what we thought was best for us. But as we grow and as we evolve, we start to see, no, that was just where I had to be at that time to get through what I needed to get through, until I got to the place of completely understanding why I went through what I went through and why I am here where I am right now. So this is where I want you to take the time to not beat yourself up if you feel like you're falling backwards, okay? Or you're feeling trapped, or you're feeling alone. First thing I want you to do is say to yourself, I'm proud of you for you to even get to this place that you're at right now, to even make that move, or to even move to a whole nother place, or move out of a relationship, or leave a job and start a brand new business, or whatever it is that you've done through these last couple of years, the changes and all the stuff that you went through to get to that place. Be proud of yourself. Be proud. Don't feel that you did something wrong or you made a mistake. You did not. Because you did what you did, moved on away from that old version that was created, and you are stepping into this strength and courage of even making or taking those steps into the new, shows you how far you've really come. Now, not everyone can do that. There's a lot of people who are stuck and probably will be stuck because they don't choose to grow or move on or learn about themselves. Because at the end of the day, it's really learning about you. Those experiences teach you lessons so that you can learn who you really are. So there's some people that can't make those changes. You're going to have different groups, that are going to go through different parts of this. We are all meant to evolve. That is what we come here for. To learn and to remember who we truly are. Not everyone can go through those changes when they're meant to go through them. Or I shouldn't even say meant to go through them, because when you are meant to go through them, you'll know it and you will take those chances. But if you haven't done the work that was necessary to understand where you've been, where you are, where you're going, and you feel more comfortable where you are and do not choose to move forward, that's okay. Because maybe it's not time yet for you, but you will know. But right now, because everything is shifting so quickly, people are moving so quickly, everything is just like moving quickly, let's say. It's moving very quickly. And we haven't had the opportunity to just stop and take a breath. And it's so important for us to stop and take a breath. We really need to stop and breathe. We need to breathe. Time to catch our breath and just observe. See where you're at, where you are, where you were, how far you've come, all the lessons you've learned. Embrace all of that and stay in that moment of just breathing, acknowledging, being proud of yourself. It's okay. Take a breath. We don't have to know all the answers. We're not supposed to know all the answers. And as we create this new version of ourselves, we have no idea what's going to happen next. That's where I feel so many people find themselves getting stuck. But through this process, we are overcoming a lot, more than you even think. So the most important thing right now is to understand that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not supposed to know what's going to happen next. And this may all feel alien to you right now. The move, from a job, from a relationship, to a whole nother place of living and being. You're getting ready to create. This is your time to create your life the way that you really want it to be. And even if it feels lonely, embrace that loneliness. Try to understand it. Why does this feel so scary to me? Why do I feel so alone? Why I made this major change in myself. I made this major change, this major move. I took a leap of faith because this is where I was guided. And this is where we always are guided. It's just when we get into this moment of feeling like we're stuck, it's not because you were not guided to where you are right now, because you wouldn't have taken that leap of faith if you were not supposed to go there, okay? It felt good. That's how you know when you made the right change, because it felt good, the thought of it, when you did it originally. Yeah, you might have had to let go of some stuff temporarily, and you had to go through that, that fear of, oh, wow, I'm leaving something that I'm used to print somewhere, to go somewhere different. This is scary as hell. It's okay. Acknowledge that. It's okay to feel scared. But you did it. And that's where you need to give yourself more credit. And even if you find yourself stuck, it's just temporary. You're in a brand new place in your life, a place you've never been. Again, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So there's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of fear. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty, maybe even some frustration, some loneliness. You just stepped out of an old version of what you were used to. You're leaving people, places, things behind that you were used to because it was part of that old version of who you were. You're in a brand new place. Brand new place. So now what you need to do is just embrace this newness, not fear it, not feel like you made the wrong choice or decision. Because when you originally made the decision or the choice to do that or move there or remove yourself from a situation or leave a relationship, you knew in that very moment that you needed to do it. And you felt good about it. You know what I find right now? We're just in a very unfamiliar place right now. We've done so much work. We cleared so much. We're at such a different level of consciousness and understanding. And it's scary and unfamiliar. But it's also quiet. It's quiet. Why is it quiet? Why? Because now you are starting to experience what peace is. This is what peace feels like. None of that jumble and that running, that old version of us, which was so much chaos, so much confusion, so much running, even though it felt normal to us, right? Think about that for a moment. That felt normal to us, did it not? Because of who we were at that time. It's not any different now. You let go of that old version or in the process of, and now you're in a brand new place. So it's going to feel scary, right? It's like a death and a rebirth is what it is. It's like a baby taking her first steps, speaking their first words, right? We're starting brand new. We're in quiet, we're in peace. A lot of people don't like quiet and peace because they're so used to chaos and noise and drama and all the things that we just surrounded ourselves with or felt like that's what we needed to get through our lives, right? It was a false illusion that we created. Peace and quiet. Embrace that. In the peace and in the quiet is when everything will be revealed to you. You get a deeper understanding of who you really are and what truly will make you happy. It's okay. We are at a place that we've never been before. And when we find ourselves alone, scared, frustrated, and questioning ourselves as far as thinking we've made the wrong choice. I want you to breathe and know you did not. You're evolving. You're creating the new version. And it starts in quiet and peace. And then you build from that. Find the joy in where you're at. Embrace the quiet. It's okay. It won't be like that forever. You won't be alone forever. But you need to be in this place right now to start grieving that old version, that old identity, the old familiar version. It's time for it to go, and time for you to create brand new. Where you are, embrace it. Find joy and gratitude in where you are. And most importantly, you should be proud as hell of yourself for getting this far. And even if you feel like you may have made a mistake, you really have not. You're right where you're supposed to be. So you need to embrace that. Embrace that. Embrace who you are now, who you are becoming, who you are creating. And also embrace the old version of yourself. And tell that old version of yourself, thank you. Thank you. Because I've learned so much through the journey. And as my journey continues, I will be at a whole nother level of consciousness. In a place of where I know from those experiences what would truly fulfill me. It's about being true to yourself, being authentic. This is what this new version represents. So loves, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to feel confused. It's okay that we don't have the clarity yet. We're not supposed to. We're supposed to just be right now. Embrace the quiet. Embrace the peace. Embrace you, the new you. Things will get better. This is a time to reflect, to understand that old version was just a version that was created to get us through that part of our life. And now we are at a place of unfamiliarity, new, everything new. Just like this new moon that we just had. Ask for everything new, a new life, new happiness, new joy, new version, and everything that you've ever wanted. But at the same time, allow those emotions to come up. Embrace those emotions and tell them all it's okay. It's okay. I'm right where I'm supposed to be in this moment in time. Love you all. Have an amazing day.